Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an entertaining story titled, Am I the A-hole for making my girlfriend sign an agreement if I'm going to loan her money? And this story, guys, it's both entertaining as well as a good learning experience, a good teaching tool. This is all about a guy. He is 32 years old. He has a girlfriend. She's 27. He's been dating her for like 3 years, and they moved in together this year. Big mistake there, but we'll cover that in a moment. And long story short, 4 months ago, so we're looking at about April, she lost her job. And she obviously doesn't have any money coming in, and it's starting to be a problem because they split the expenses and the bills. And it's reaching the point now that he's paying way more with his money for the bills than she is because she's running out of money. And now it's reaching the point that she wants more money to take care of things while she's trying to find a job. And he's like, hey, if I'm going to do this any further, I need you to sign an agreement, a contract, if you will, saying you're going what is being loaned and you're going to pay me back. And she's having a complete freaking meltdown over this, making him out to be the bad guy here. Shocker, right? Because in her mind, that he should be able to do this without a care in the world, that he should trust her, that of course she'd pay him back, blah, 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 making him out to be the villain here. And this is a really good one for you guys that do dating and relationships. That's something that you could potentially deal with one day if you move in with your girlfriend. And the very important thing is, I tell you guys all the time, for you relationship guys, if you need to be with your girl for a long time to really see what she's like, to have real life situations come her way to see her true colors, okay? And right here, nothing is real as somebody losing their job and how they handle with money and things like that to really show you her true character. And you're going to see more as I get into this. Also, how important it is to never, in my opinion, give them money. It's a huge mistake because you're not going to get that back. Okay? She'll say she repaid you in other ways. Wink, wink, nod, nod. How gals can gaslight you when they don't like what you're doing and make things out to be your fault, which you're going to see in the story here, as well as the problems you have with moving in with a woman. All sorts of things here in this story, guys, to understand a good teaching tool and what can happen and where things can go wrong. So I'm going to get into this story here. You can see what I'm talking about. So hopefully maybe this can help some of you guys out, not make the mistake that he did here, but also do some things right that he is doing here, like saying, hey, you're going to sign a contract. So it starts off, he says, my girlfriend, she's 27, I'm 32. Have been together for 3 years now and moved in together last year. Smack. 3 years moving in with her already. I know I say if you're going to marry her, okay, fine, that's the final test, and this guy does see a test here, but still 3 years too soon, okay? Do you really need her money? It's better to have your own money. And it's better to pay more for your expenses, have to deal with what he is about to deal with. She lost her job about 4 months ago and hasn't gotten a new one yet. She had interviews and gotten offers, but they were offering much less than she was previously making, so she turned them down. I don't think she's just being picky. She just knows her worth. And she's not going to accept a lowball offer. I completely agree with her on that. I also understand that a job search can take time, and I don't want her to think I don't have her back on this, so I'm not going to pressure her. Well, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, she lost her job. That can happen to anybody. That's real life. Fine. And that's good that she's been on interviews. Okay, that's good there too. But the thing is, he doesn't quite know if the offer she was getting was actually as a low ball as she describes it. Maybe, like a lot of people nowadays, they lost their job or they quit their job and they want to take their time going back. Okay? I know some people that have quit their jobs and are taking their sweet-ass time to get a job because they've been grinding for a few years and they figure, hey, no problem, I can get a job easily. And they're living off the severance, but now they're realizing, guess what? Things have changed overnight in our economy right now. Anybody with a brain can see this coming. Companies were first starting hiring freezes back in May, a lot of the big tech companies, and now they're doing layoffs, and people can't get jobs as much. So she's in that situation right now. So what she should do, if money's starting to run out, is take a job just to take care of the bills, and then at her own pace, do interviews on the side, and when she finds something that she really wants, money she wants, then she can take that. Instead, she's obviously, wanting him to cover things, and that ain't cool. Anyway, he says here, but she's running out of money. She started dipping into her savings to make ends meet. This past month, I paid our entire rent and nearly all of our shared expenses to help her out. Smack. No, not cool. because you're not going to get that back. Okay? If your roommate was another dude, you'd want your share of the money. You wouldn't be paying his share. Maybe if it was a close bro and you knew without a shadow of a doubt, but even then, no. But she's getting used to this. If she really cared about you, she'd take a job just to make sure you don't have to pay for the rent and expenses and all that. She doesn't care. She knows in the back of her mind, or quite in the front of her mind, hey, this guy will take care of everything. I can take my time. Because that's what a man's supposed to do, right? Take care of his woman. He says, I make more money than she does anyway, so I can absorb the financial hit. But I don't want this to become the norm. We split our shared costs about 60-40 because I make more money than her, but I don't want it to be 80-20 or 90-10 for an extended period of time. Smack. Why are you paying 60 and she's doing 40? Okay? Again, if you had a roommate that was a dude, it'd be 50-50. But she's getting special treatment because she's a girl. This is the age of equality. So why is she getting special treatment? It should be 50-50, dude. And you have every right to want to have a contract. You have every right to not want to keep paying, because he could be going a whole year and he's paying 80%, 90% of all the expenses. That's bullshit. If she's not going to get a job, she needs to sign a contract. It's a business deal. We had a discussion the other day after she had another interview that didn't go well. The company misled her about the compensation and she was frustrated. She was venting to me about it and mentioned that she didn't think she'd be able to pay much again this month. I told her that I understand her frustration and I sympathize with her, but that if I'm going to continue to subsidize her share of her costs, I want her to sign an agreement stating that she will pay me back because I'm not comfortable with being the only person paying for things. Completely reasonable, but money and friendship, or money and love and so-called love, don't mix. And watch how she responds. She got defensive and told me that I should just trust that she'll make things right once she gets a job and is back on her feet. Oh, how many guys would fall for this crap? Got defensive. Okay, she lost her job. Doesn't say why she lost her job, but let's just say she was laid off. It's been happening. But this guy has been helping her, and she's going to get defensive and snap at him. She told me the idea of signing a loan agreement with her significant other is gross and is bordering on financial abuse. Financial abuse. This guy's protecting himself. I told her I do trust her, but that it's already been 4 months of the job search, and this will be the second month of me pretty much paying for everything, and if this keeps up, then I want something more than a verbal agreement. Good for this guy for sticking to his guns. Financial abuse, my ass. When one institution or one person lends to another, it's a business deal. Okay? And you need to handle a business deal accordingly. And if you don't have a contract, you could then lose what you lend. Okay? You don't see banks just giving out $500,000 loans to people just on a verbal agreement with nothing down for it, no other things going on to, without a contract amongst many other things, and something to obviously get if you stop making payments. They're just not going to do it on a verbal agreement, so why should you? But again, money and friendships, money and love, money and relationships don't mix. She called me an a-hole for having so little faith in her and told me that I'm kicking her when she's down. Oh yeah, well, maybe she's the a-hole because he's paying for all the stuff right now, and she doesn't care about that. Or she's the a-hole for giving him a hard time for protecting himself. He works hard for his money. He's earned his money. Why should he just risk? What if they break up? Imagine that. What if they break up, or she just takes off in the middle of the night and she owes him 10 grand or something or more and never hears from her again? If the situation was reversed, do you think she wouldn't want a contract? Please. She said I should be more supportive instead of being greedy and only thinking about money. She said that she didn't think our relationship was transactional, but apparently it is. Newsflash, all relationships are transactional. All relationships are business deals, whether people want to admit it or not. Each party is getting something, but most of the time, by and large, the gals are benefiting from this bad business deals than the guys. Kicking her being greedy about the money, she's being greedy. She doesn't care about him. And she's twisting things around, making him out to be the bad guy. Look at the gaslighting I told you about here. But something tells me that she's probably used to getting her way with him. Okay, that's why she's reacting this way and giving him a hard time twisting it around. I mean, all gals are going to twist things around when they're not getting their way. But it sounds to me, when I'm connecting the dots here, and probably maybe you guys are too at this point, she's used to getting her way with him, but he's laying down the law for once, and she doesn't like it. She said that she's been doing more around the house to try and make up for not paying for things, and that should be enough. No, her vacuuming an extra time a week or doing the dishes is not the same. I told her that doing some of the extra loads of laundry and cooking more often makes sense because she's home all the time, but that doesn't absolve her of our shared financial responsibility, especially when I'm the one buying the food and laundry detergent. Good for this guy. This guy isn't backing down. This is awesome. That set her off, and she's been staying at a friend's place the last couple nights. Set her off. See, she's upping the ante of trying to twist the screws on this guy to get him to cave. Okay, she's like, oh, I'll show him. I'll go stay at a friend's house, and maybe he'll think that I'm going to leave him or break up with him, or he's not going to get any of the you-know-what down there anymore. Something like that. Her stance now is that she won't sign anything, and I'm just going to have to trust that she'll pay me back, because that's what loving partners do. Am I in the wrong here? No, you're not at all in the wrong here, bro. You're doing the right thing. The only thing you're in the wrong in is that whole 60-40 agreement, that's in the wrong in my opinion. The other thing in the wrong was that you should have been working this out earlier than this. And quite frankly, moving in with her after 3 years, that's way too soon in my opinion. I know people will disagree with me, but that's your business. But, and also, he didn't mention anything to her about, like, maybe one day I was thinking about marrying her or something like that. You should not be moving with a girl unless that is the final reason why you want to marry her. This is the final test. Okay, he didn't mention anything about that. But probably was on his mind because he's 32. I'm assuming here. But no, he's not the a-hole. He has every right. Again, he could be taking care of all the bills for months before she gets something, and then she could just take her sweet-ass time to pay him back or just disappear, not pay him at all. So, no, he's not in the wrong here. And any of you guys that may fall in a situation like this, with anything, of lending people money. First of all, I don't recommend you do it. Lending money to girlfriends, women, paying their bills, paying for lending money to anybody, because the odds are you're not going to get it back. Okay, I did a short on that the other day about that. Okay, don't lend them money. It's a big mistake. And I'm sure many guys watching this have done that. And yeah, don't pay the bills, don't lend them money, that type of stuff. Don't buy them expensive stuff because you're not going to get that back. But, and she's making the threat that pretty much saying, she's saying here that she's not going to sign anything and he's going to have to trust with that. Well, you know what? Maybe it's time to boot her out of the apartment. Okay? If she's not paying for anything, she shouldn't be living there. End of story. I don't know how many months he has left in his lease, or what the deal is there, but I would be looking for that option. Hey, you're not paying for anything? Then you can leave. If you want to stay here, you're going to sign an agreement. Otherwise, you're going to have to leave. End of story. Now, again, I don't know if her name is on the lease or the other things like that, but the point is, this guy shouldn't take this lying down. And I don't think he will. But I'll be paying attention to this. So this is a good thing, guys, a good lesson of what can happen. Remember this when you think you want to move in with your girl and she just suddenly decides she doesn't want to pay anymore, or she should pay less or something like that. You could be on the hook for her thing. Now, he shouldn't have to pay. If he kicked her out, yeah, he's on the hook for paying all the bills and everything, and that would suck. But in a sense, cutting his losses, because he knows what she's really like. He's seen her true colors. And this is what I'm talking about, how you need to be with your girl for a long time to have real life situations arise and see how they handle it. Right here, he's saying that she's more relying on him taking care of the bills. And when he wants, obviously, a guarantee he's going to get his money back, she freaks out and makes him out to be the bad guy and tries to punish him. This is her true colors. This is what he needs to see. Okay? Imagine if they'd been together for years, right, and got married, and then she lost her job and decided, I'm going to take my time to get the job back. And then they start losing money because she doesn't care. That's what's going on here, because she knows he'll cover her. Well, she's surprised when he called her on it. So I'm going to read a few comments here to show this guy I'm not alone in my opinion. One guy says here, not the a-hole. I would have said not the a-hole because you're partners and should help each other out, but her accusations that you're borderline financially abusive because you want something in writing about being paid back your own money is a manipulative move and makes her an a-hole. The fact that she's taking such a belligerent stance makes me think there's no intention of paying you back, ever. At this point, if she won't sign, I consider the relationship over. Exactly. Yeah, why is she getting so defensive? Because she doesn't expect to pay. Another guy says here, I agree too, not the a-hole, because my husband, This is from a woman. And I owe each other just right off sometimes because we are a married couple. But there's not the point that we still have to pull in what we need to get paid. When I quit my job, my husband basically said he can't do all the finances, so to take a couple of days to rest and start applying. Now I work at McDonald's, but I'm always an optimist. College scholarships, etc. I lost a $3 pay gap. Old job was $18.30, and now I'm getting paid $15. It's not ideal, but it gets the bills paid and trying to support myself so I can get a better job down the road. I was offered to be a manager ASAP, but I'm like, ew, I don't know. Over a partnership, it's like a tablet. It's hard to stable itself if the other two legs are missing. Okay, whatever there. But the point is, that's a woman agreeing this guy's not the a-hole. And notice here in her little thing, she said, I got a job temporarily at McDonald's for $15 an hour. It's less than I was making before, but at least it will help pay the bills. If she really cared about this dude, if she really loved him, at this point, she would take something, just take something, help with the bills so it's not all coming out of his pocket, his bank account, and then do interviews on the side. And when something that she wants comes up, okay, fine. She can quit the temporary job, move on to the thing because, hey, take care of you. So I had no problem she did that, but she's not offering to do that. It's easy just to take his money and let him pay for everything. Not cool. This is showing her true colors. Now the guy says, not the a-hole. Although I'd be concerned that she has had a few offers and she's continuing to reject them and hold out while running out of money and not being able to afford to live. Bad pay is still better than no pay. Just because you have a job doesn't mean the job hunt is over. She needs to just accept that one of these job offers so she can afford to live while continuing to look for a better opportunity. And here we are with another person saying the same thing here. Right. But she doesn't want to do that. Another one says here, 100%. I was let go from my job as COVID was starting. I took the first job offered. It was a shit job, not at all related to anything I wanted to be doing, but I took it and it was allowed me to be picky with other jobs as I continued to search. It took about 5 months, but I found a great job that paid all my bills along the way. Right now, she doesn't have the option to be picky. Take a job, get a salary, and continue searching for the right job. Amen. That's what a responsible person would do. And let me tell you, guys, if she had no one, if she was living in her apartment alone, taking care of all the expenses, and say she moved to a new city and she had no friends, no family, no one to rely on at all, that literally, if the difference was from her, if it was either her getting a temporary job that she didn't want but something to pay the bills versus being kicked out on the streets, what do you think she'd do? She would take a job that she could get some money on while she's looking for other jobs. But right here, she knows she can fall back on the boyfriend to pay for everything or go stay at a friend's house. That's the problem. We got some old school common sense work ethic in the comment section here, but she's young, she's 27, probably hot, can get her way. Okay? Yeah, everybody can lose a job, and that sucks. But you gotta be a freaking adult about it, handle it the right way, not mooch off good people that'll have your back, because this guy's had her back, okay? But he understandably doesn't want to lose it all. There's nothing wrong with that. So, guys, great lesson here on multiple fronts about what to do, what not to do in a situation like that, and what you may expect. You move in with your girl, and she loses her job, or there's the issue about money, about how much she should pay versus what you pay, and all those other things. Are just a real life example of what can happen. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me just think about this. Is this guy the a-hole? Is this guy in the wrong for wanting this? I don't think so, but I'd like to hear your opinion about this. Have you guys ever had an experience like this with a girlfriend that you moved in with? Let's hear about it in the comment section. Your comments definitely help out dudes around the world to help them from making mistakes that a lot of these guys do. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.